I guess so. Let me bring up the chat here.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it's at. The chat, you see.
Right. Right. Yes, indeed.
Hello and welcome to episode number 835 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us after your long stream.
Yep. I've been streaming Disney games for 24 hours, and boy, are my arms tired.
Oh, I get it.
Excellent. Excellent. You flew around the globe in Quackshot. So, you know.
I did.
Yeah.
That's right. Before I accidentally reset the system.
No!
Oh, no!
It was near the end of the stream, but that's a good game. We talk about, and I know CJ was the one who made the generous donation and requested that I play Quackshot yesterday for an hour. And I know, CJ, you bring that game up all the time because it's definitely the lesser known of the Sega Genesis Disney games. But it's real good. It's a real good time.
Is.
So good. Yeah. I mean, I've always known it's good, but it's been a while since I played it, and it was just fun to fire it up and be reminded about how much fun it was.
I want a sequel to that game, but of course that'll never happen.
I settle for a remake.
Yeah,
like
a remake,
Evolution style remake we got.
Yeah, I'd be down with that for sure. And joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
It's going pretty well here.
Good.
Yeah. I watched a good friend of mine stream some Hercules on PS1.
Oh, yeah?
Also a fun game, although it gets a little bit tough pretty fast.
Yeah. But it looks good. That's all that matters, right? All those
I've
Disney
always
games
been a fan
back in the
of
day.
one. Yeah.
And you played David Jaffe's Mickey Mania.
Also a really good game. Although that one was definitely from the era of, we got to make sure we make this really difficult.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I played a bunch of really fun games yesterday. Tried out Lucky Dime Caper, Donald Duck game for the Masters for the first time. Talk about difficult, but wow, quality, like really high quality game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Castle Illusion on Master System, and another game I'm going to talk about now, which I've been playing. Played a lot of Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. I
say that with disdain.
No, I don't. I like the first Kingdom Hearts. I don't recommend playing it for 5 hours after you've been awake for like 18 hours.
Then does the story start to make sense?
Really? Yeah, actually, yeah. It's the best.
So you had a 5-hour chunk of Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, I had a donor who very generously donated $250.
Oh wow.
So I would play Kingdom Hearts for 5 hours, which I was more than happy to do. Like I said, I liked the first one. It hadn't been overly Nomura at that point. So
that's true.
The limiter was still on. So I mean, it has its issues for sure, but I still really like that game a lot. The first one. After that, it went a little crazy. But
I see. Well, then, I think we should just hop into news.
I can't help but notice.
What do you guys think?
That the trailer for A Christmas Story Christmas is not on the news and topics list.
Oh. I guess it should be.
What the hell?
Do you want to talk about that?
Go ahead. Not at all, but I'm just surprised that you didn't put it on there.
Why would I? It's not video game related.
He has a point, Greg.
I'm really tired.
Yeah,
because, if something's not video game related, we never talk about it.
Never.
That's definitely not us.
Have you seen this, Greg? Look at this. I got a new Ironhide toy.
Nice.
I haven't busted him open yet, but I'm very excited.
Fun fact, Ironhide and his brother Ratchet were the two first Transformers in this house.
They're not brothers.
They were brothers for us.
They share a mold.
My brother and I got Ironhide and Ratchet as our first Transformers.
So that's your fanon.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. I got Ratchet.
Ratchet was the one I had as well.
They were terrible. Ironhide and
they're not
Ratchet,
good toys.
terrible toys.
No.
Yeah.
But this one, look at this. Look at
He
that.
looks great.
Look how
He
great
looks
that
really
looks. No parts forming on that either. So, you remember the old one, the trailer, you had to pop it off.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, now it's all.
Yeah, I mean they were that much worse. They didn't have faces, and then they really were just the frame of the van.
Oh yeah,
and nothing else.
Yes, indeed. I'm very excited.
Speaking of Ratchet,
Ah,
Ratchet and Clank celebrating its 20th anniversary this month, and to celebrate,
God, really?
I know Sony is putting some classic Ratchet games up on PS Plus Premium already. There's some already there.
Oh
They're
my!
putting some new ones up.
Yeah.
What are they putting up?
as well? They're putting up Ratchet and Clank PS3.
Okay.
It's a good game.
Ratchet and Clank Going Commando PS3.
That's a really good game.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal PS3.
Also a really good game.
Ratchet and Clank Deadlocked.
Skip that one.
Oh, that one's not a very good game.
No,
That one's
definitely the low point. Well, maybe not the low point. Maybe not the lowest point.
It was
A
a
low
very low
point.
point though.
It's a pretty
What
low
was it?
point.
Was it All for One, or what was that other one?
All for One is the low point.
Yeah, that's what I'm
already
saying. That's the
available on
low
PS
point.
Plus.
That's what I'm
the
saying.
tower defense one.
No, it's the beat 'em up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the low point. Deadlock
Okay.
is close. All for One is
Into
worse.
the Nexus, I think, is the one that's the tower defense.
I don't remember that one.
Which it's not bad, but it's not good. It's on the lower end of the continuum. All right. And then Ratchet and Clank Future Tools of Destruction for PS3.
Oh,
Also,
That's
excellent.
another good one.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
We need
So
new
you
Ratchet
already
and
have
Clank
like Quest for Booty, Crack in Time, All for One, Full Frontal Assault, and Into the Nexus. Those are already available on PS Plus, but we're getting some more. 5 more
It's
games.
your one-stop Ratchet and Clank shop.
True.
Mm.
And then
business is booming.
they put out a patch for Rift Apart that includes some classic armor.
What?
Oh,
Some classic armor packs.
Let's
Really?
fire up
So-
Rift Apart again?
You might have to fire it up again, yeah.
Hmm.
So you'll receive a 20th anniversary armor pack in Rift Apart, available via game update at no cost.
oh,
Includes 5 armors
My
inspired by
favorite kind
games
of
throughout
cost.
franchise history.
Hmm.
A Commando armor inspired by Going Commando. Holoflux armor inspired by
naked.
A Crack in Time. Quest armor inspired by Quest for Booty.
mm-hmm.
Marauder armor inspired by Deadlocked.
Mm.
And then Clank armor to celebrate Clank.
Is the Marauder armor that stupid like head to toe armor?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
They just
great
lost their way
on
with that game.
What is the Clank armor?
You look like Clank.
Does it just make you look like a
like
giant
Clank
Clank?
You
cosplay?
look like a big Clank.
Ratchet's
Ah,
just
that's
doing
pretty
Clank
good.
cosplay. That's awesome.
That's exactly what it is.
Does it
Yeah.
does it make Clank look like a little Ratchet?
Uh,
That'd be funny too.
no.
Flip the script.
No.
Yeah.
Tables are turned.
No. That would be
Ah.
fun though.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway,
Maybe for the next big anniversary.
happy 20th to Ratchet and Clank. Yeah.
Yeah. Great series.
I know they listen, so
Great series.
those
Insomniac,
those few
yeah,
games
big
we
listeners.
mentioned notwithstanding.
Yes.
Mhm.
Let's also talk about the Last of Us television show. The television program
oh yeah,
is going to premiere on January 15th, 2023.
the day after my birthday.
Exactly.
So you're
I
welcome,
think that's
everyone.
why they scheduled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for then.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, Phil, we want to celebrate you.
This one's for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Excited about that, though.
Yeah, me too.
Excited that it's
Oh, yeah.
not
Really-
later
really
than
wanna play that.
2023.
Really
We
wanna
knew that it was
watch that.
coming out in 2023, but
Yes.
it's good that it's at the beginning part of that.
Practically
all
the
right.
first month.
First month, I know. Whoa.
Mhm.
Almost the
Yeah.
first 2 weeks. Just missed it.
Yes. All right. And then EA and Marvel have announced a
It's
multi-title
Marvel.
Marvel
And
A
it's not EA,
multi-title
it's EA.
collaboration
Yeah.
It's a
to
word.
make action adventure games. The first one is an Iron Man game from Motive. That was already announced before, so we knew about that. And then they have two others, one of which is a rumored Black Panther game, so that they haven't commented on specifically.
Okay.
So we'll see if that comes true. And then something unknown.
Oh, mysterious.
Marvel game. I, for one, I don't know. Are they still going to base them on the movies, though? Or are they just like standalone? These aren't like movie licensed games, are they? Or do we know?
No, they're not.
I guess the Iron Man one wouldn't be. They're not doing an Iron Man one.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Hey, more Marvel games. Great. There's been some nice surprises as far as comic book games over the last few years. And
true,
because we don't get, movie licensed games anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like we've been inundated with Marvel games.
Yeah.
I kind of miss movie licensed games. I know that it's like they're butt of a lot of jokes and they were terrible for a lot of them were terrible, but
right.
Still kind of miss it. There's somebody, always part of the fanfare of a big new movie coming out to have a companion game. And some of them are
true.
Good.
It just takes too long to develop video games now, right?
That's also true. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, because what wasn't I think I heard this that the Suicide Squad game that Rocksteady's working on was supposed to come out when the Suicide Squad movie from James Gunn came out.
Oh, really?
That was a while ago.
Yeah,
which was a while ago. So, whoops.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but anyway, that Iron Man game, the director of that is from Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes, I heard that.
So that's
awesome.
Good news.
Yeah,
that is potentially good news. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can't wait to play as off-brand Tony Stark.
That's how it's got to be, though, right? Otherwise,
speaking of Iron Man, the VR game,
yes,
is coming to Quest, right?
It came out last week.
Oh, it came out last week.
Released
right
has.
I have to get that.
Yeah,
I never did get it on PSVR, and that was one that the demo was great, but I felt like that was one that definitely suffered from the fact that the motion controllers are light based and like light and camera based, and because you want to be able to turn around, and when you turn around, things would just go kind of wonky. Plus, you're still strapped to everything. So
right,
yeah, I definitely want to pick that up for the Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed. Well, maybe they'll make it.
I hope this new Iron Man game has Exo Manowar in it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a sequel. Maybe that's
maybe
they're not telling us. Maybe it's Iron Man Exo Manowar 2.
Oh,
finally! Oh my god,
the value of that original game
rolls off the tongue.
Skyrocket.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the hell is an Exo Manowar?
I don't know.
It was. I think it was a comic character.
I think it is.
Potentially another.
That
company?
one always confused me as much as Arcade's Revenge. Where it's like, what? What arcade? What arcade? How does an arcade take revenge?
That's a character.
I know that now.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that then.
Was there a first game where he was defeated and then he has to get
Arcade's
revenge?
defeat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exo Manowar was a Valiant Comics character.
Valiant. Did Marvel buy Valiant? Or is Valiant Comics still a thing? I don't know.
The company was founded in 1989 by former Marvel Comics editor-in-chief Jim Shooter.
Okay. Huh. Big shoots.
And was in 1994, the company was sold to Acclaim Entertainment.
Ew.
Well, that's the company that did the Turok comics, right? That came out of them.
Oh, really?
Quite possibly. I really don't want to scroll down this whole.
Really gone beyond the first page of Wikipedia.
Yeah, I already know too much about Valiant Comics.
Exactly.
You know too much.
Yeah.
Feel
All
informed.
right, let's move on then.
Partially informed.
I have approximate knowledge of many things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, last week we learned the price and date for PlayStation VR 2.
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah.
The news is, of course, that it's going to be available February 22nd, 2023.
Do you have the womp womp sound effect queued up?
No.
It's going to cost a mortgage payment.
At a price of $550, $549.99 in the US.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
How much is the PS5?
Less.
It's less.
Just checking.
The one
Except
without
maybe up here. I don't know. The price went up here, so God knows.
the one without the disc is $3.99, and then the disc version is $4.99. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to be sure.
To be fair, it does come with those two controllers. The tech in there is it's not nothing. And I'm not trying to defend it too much because it's still a very high price. But I mean, it's if you're looking at it from the standpoint of the last VR headset and its price, I don't think it's as comparable as you want to think it is, right? Just based on the tech.
At least there's going to be a brand new Astro Bot game to kind of soften that pain, right?
Nope.
No.
What?
No.
What?
But at least it's backwards compatible, so you have an existing library of PSVR games that you can play on day one.
Exactly.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
You know what? Remember how I just defended it a few minutes ago? I'm going to pay my mortgage that month instead.
There you go.
My problem with this isn't completely the price. I mean, yes, it's expensive, but
no.
I think if you could justify it through a killer app, then it would be okay, right? If there was a game where it's like, I have to play this game, and this is like the next generation VR platform.
Yeah,
I'll pay the $550 because I really want to play it. Honestly, an Astro Bot game probably would have gone a long way.
Considering the goodwill that game garnered, and actually, honestly, that character has at this point.
Oh yeah,
as we've had a couple of really, really high quality Astro Bot games at this point.
Yeah.
Like you're right, that was the game. Even if you don't pack it in, as long as it's available day one, and maybe they'll announce that it is. I don't know, but it feels unlikely at this point. Then,
well, it seems like they're pinning their hopes on that Horizon game.
Yeah, see,
Call of the Mountain, which I don't really understand. I mean, Horizon, fine. Like, I don't love that game, but
more like Horizon Zero Interest.
This is a Horizon game that doesn't. You're not Aloy in this game. You play as somebody else.
Who are you?
You're a random character. There's no Aloy. They have not shown Aloy in this game. I don't even know if she shows up.
You're a random character. Weirdly enough, though, still voiced by Ashley Birch.
But you're not Aloy, which makes it even weirder. It's like, why would you want to
Maybe you're just Ashley Birch, who's been time displaced.
Oh, it's like
I played that game.
Journey to the West.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ending. There you go. I love it.
You know what?
Meta as hell.
I would absolutely play that game.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, you don't play as Aloy. It's very strange. But that game is a pack-in for one version of the PSVR 2 hardware that's going to be
one that's even more expensive.
$599.
Oh dear.
$600.
Oh.
That.
Yes, yeah.
So that means that Horizon Call of the Wild is a full priced, or at least a $50 game.
PSVR 2 may not have Aloy, but you're going to need a loan to pick up this new hardware accessory.
I bet you'll be able to find one in stores.
Well, not initially though, because they, as part of this announcement, they said that pre-orders are going to take place on PlayStation.com.
Oh, good.
And at least in the US, UK, France, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg.
And not Canada.
No.
I'm glad you mentioned that for all of our Luxembourgian listeners.
I know. Well, at least we have one, I'm sure.
Do we really?
Probably.
Do you have stats about that?
No, but hey, if you're listening to us in Luxembourg, please.
Hashtag listeners in Luxembourg.
Send a message to us.
Greeting.
We want to hear from you. No, but initially they'll be solely through PlayStation's online store. It's not going to be at retail. In the US, which it makes it even stranger, right? Pre-orders begin on November 15th. You hate what?
I hate shopping now.
Why's that?
This sucks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's not an event anymore. You don't like go into the store day one and have the thing and take it up to the register.
Or I mean, there's not that.
Anymore, right?
Yes, I agree with that. That's not what I was getting at, but I do agree with that. But then there's also like, there's not even the 8 months later walk into the store and just pick it up.
Yeah.
No, there isn't. Especially
Greg wants to
with
go down to
PS5
the
or-
local 5 and dime.
Yep. Well, local Piggly Wiggly.
Stock up on penny whistles and moon pies.
Mhm.
It's not possible. Sorry, but you can register right now
Jesus.
to be able to
Oh.
pre-order.
Oh, I can register
There's nothing I love more than competing with bots to buy
to
something.
pre-order something.
Register to pre-order. Yeah.
Okay. Was there an announcement of the pre-registration to pre-order?
Yes.
It was a
Okay.
pre-announcement.
But I think it was probably overshadowed by the price tag
Yeah.
news because it's in the same blog entry. But
Jesus Christ.
Whenever
Whoops.
I'm way too tired
I
for this conversation.
I hear of a video game item
Yeah.
that is announced with a stupid, ridiculously high price tag.
Which is how often? How often does that happen?
I mean,
More often
more
than
than a
you'd
few
like.
times.
More than a few times. Certainly with the 3DO.
I mean, like people scoffed at like the PS4 and 5 price originally, right?
Did they?
I believe so.
Hmm.
All I can
I don't
think
know.
of is back to the old what was it? The N-Gage, Party. the big N-Gage press conference
Yeah.
where they had that poor woman come out as in her skater gear.
Yeah.
And they made her take off her top, and she had her little bikini top with the price
tag on it.
painted across her stomach.
Yeah. It's a shame that video does not exist.
Yeah. And it was supposed to be like this. Everyone was
so
supposed to go
great.
wild, like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
the semi-nudity and
Where you could hear a pin drop
and awesome video games, and yeah, there was just dead silence.
dead silence.
Yeah, I
Cool.
felt so. I felt so bad for the poor woman on stage. I was just like, oh, you were supposed to get applause.
I know exactly.
Everyone
poor
in
woman,
the
this is not your fault.
They
Yeah.
told you during rehearsal that everyone would be clapping. Now nothing is happening.
Yeah,
Dress rehearsal. She reveals applause, 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 and we move on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, but anyway, so yeah. They also announced 11 titles that are coming to PlayStation VR 2,
That's a lot of not Astro Bot.
none of which are Astro Bot, right?
Yeah.
Let me bring up what titles those are, because a couple of them might be of interest anyway. So Supermassive is doing the Dark Pictures Switchback VR, which, if you'll remember, Supermassive is the developer of Until Dawn. You remember the Rush
Yeah,
of Blood?
that was a good time. That's
This
one of
is
my
basically
early
a
favorite,
sequel to
yeah.
Rush of Blood. I mean,
All
it's
right,
exactly on rails. It's the same kind of thing. You're on a roller coaster.
not a reason I
shooter.
would buy the VR, but I would definitely play that because I really enjoyed
Absolutely.
the last one.
Absolutely. They've revealed Crossfire Sierra Squad.
Oh,
Crossfire, of course, a very popular shooter franchise, especially
based on the old
Korea.
board game Crossfire.
based on the
Oh,
Battle Royale game Crossfire, very
Oh.
popular in Korea, and was one of Xbox's big announcements years ago.
because if this
It kind
game
of happened in
allowed you to recreate the old Crossfire commercial
no,
where you're in the giant
it's,
arena
it's unrelated, Phil.
riding
unrelated.
around on those little marble spinners.
No, those are called Beyblades.
Now, I believe these predate Beyblade. I think Crossfire
do.
was there first.
Crossfire
Yeah.
was there first. All right, the Light Brigade by Funktronic Labs. Okay, Cities VR Enhanced Edition. Okay,
I can just go
Cosmonius-
to a city.
Cosmonius High from Alchemy Labs, great developer. Yeah. Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue. Not getting a lot of applause here. I feel like
Applause,
the girl-
applause, applause.
I feel like the girl at the
you feel like
Engage.
you feel like you're wearing a bikini top with a price written across your
That's
stomach.
right. Hold
here.
on, I
You
gotta
should
lift
just-
it up.
yeah, take off your shirt and you have all
It's
those.
so funny
titles.
if you had all
painted-
painted on your top, shaved into your stomach. You would definitely get applause for that.
Jurassic World Aftermath Collection.
Oh, is that from Frontier? Is that like some kind of
Code Sync?
Okay, I was gonna say, is that some kind of a? I'd be interested in that because it's Jurassic World, but
No,
it's
it's
what
a
kind
VR
of game it is.
series. Jurassic World Aftermath is a series of games that it's out on Quest and out on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can play that right now,
I
Greg.
play that right
You
now.
can play that right
Yes.
now on Quest.
Well, but why would I play it now when I can spend $1,000? Well, $1,100 to play it next year.
Well,
Well,
you
I
can play
mean,
Cosmonious High on the Quest. You can play Cities VR on the Quest.
you want to have
But
that
why
cord
would I
too.
play them now if I could? Yes, be tethered to my system.
Yeah.
My system, by the way, that sits on a stand that if you look at it wrong, the damn thing slides off anyway.
Well, I
I'm
think
really
that might
excited
just
about
get
being
it-
tethered to that.
I don't know if
should
that's
get
the
a new
VR
stand.
unit's problem.
Yeah, exactly. You should get a new
You
stand.
might just need some new furniture.
No, it's stupid. It's the place the official stand. It doesn't slide off that easily. But
Oh.
if
you're
I
talking
like, if you
about-
swap out an HDMI cable or something, it's a PS5. The stand for the horizontal
Okay,
one.
you're
Well,
talking about
Have you
okay.
secured the stand to the system?
Yes,
Correctly.
It doesn't really clip
Yes.
in there that
it
hard.
doesn't clip in.
Greg is correct
No.
about this.
Thank
Well,
you,
I
Phil.
have mine vertical, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, so you were just being a jerk, is what you were saying.
That's right.
Typical.
Put your top back
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
Actually, don't.
it is on.
You're
That was for the radio listeners.
yeah, you're ruining
Oh,
the
okay.
illusion.
The illusion.
All of our
that I've
audio
taken my
listeners
shirt
were
off.
imagining that.
Everyone was using their illusion.
All right, Pistol Whip VR, another
Okay.
game you can play on Quest right now. Pistol Whip, which is very good. That's a very good game on Quest. And Zenith, The Last City. It's an MMORPG on in VR. You can play that on Quest as well. No, After the Fall VR. They can play that on Quest as
I
well.
remember you saying that there were some titles that might be of interest to us.
The first one.
The first one, yeah.
Okay.
Tentacular, really also fun VR game. That's also out on Quest.
Yeah. There you go.
So a bunch of Quest games.
So what you're saying is Quest 2 being really cheap there for a short while is really going to eat into the market share of PSVR 2.
Well, that's the other thing. Because so for me, I bought into the Quest ecosystem. I
Mhm.
bought
Right.
a bunch of games for it, including Tentacular and what is the other one? Zenith. I have.
Yeah.
So those games being announced for PSVR 2 don't really
Mm-hmm.
do anything for me because I know about those games already on Quest. But then I think people who aren't in the VR ecosystem who read this list of games is gonna be like, I don't know what those games are.
See, yeah, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
And the other problem is that I feel like people who want the PlayStation 5, there are a lot of people who want the PlayStation 5 who still don't have one.
Yeah.
And so if what you're offering is going to be mostly stuff that's on the Quest, it's a hell of a lot cheaper and more convenient to buy a Quest.
But a lot of people don't know that they're out. Those games are on Quest.
Okay, but
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard of the internet.
I haven't.
Pretty
What's
easy
it
to
all
find
at?
that stuff out, right? Like in this day and age. So I'm just saying, like the value prospect isn't there yet.
No.
That list of games that you just rattled off and said on the Quest already. So not only are they on a cheaper platform, a more convenient platform. Oh, by the way, these games are old as well, just as an added bonus.
Well, Zenith, Cosmonious High, Pistol Whip, these are all in the last 2 years.
That's old.
Yeah, that's not
That's
a new
old
game.
for a video
Okay.
game.
Tentacular came out in like April, May.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
they need some PlayStation specific stuff if they're going to do this. I think.
They do, and that's why I think it's such a mistake to not pack in Astro Bot, in part because that Astro Bot game on the PS5, that got on people's Game of the Year list.
It absolutely did.
As well, it should have.
People who never played it know about it. I mean, how many times on the show have you talked about how you really would have liked to have a VR so that you could play Astro Bot?
Exactly.
The thing is that when the PlayStation VR came out,
Mhm.
it was the cheap alternative. Everyone had a PlayStation 4, right? So you weren't going out and buying extra hardware for it. And, at that point, if you were seriously into VR, you had to spend a lot of money. You had to have a PC that would run it. You were dealing with light towers setups.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the PlayStation was the convenient one and the cheap one. So it didn't matter that the stuff that was coming on there was maybe a lesser version of the stuff you got on PC.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't have the cheapness. It doesn't have the convenience. I don't know.
Even with 11 games announced, like I look at that list, and you're right. I see quest,
right,
and nothing really that excites me all that much.
Now, all that being said, I'm a total hypocrite, and if they announced Astro Bot to come out, I would buy one day one.
Well,
same here.
But I guess
Absolutely.
that's
same. And I can't believe that it's not. Right? Like, I can't believe that that's not a thing. Like, what is it? They upped their projection to be like 2 million units. They're going to sell 2 million units of this thing in the time that it took the PS4, well, the PSVR 1 to sell 1 million. Like, how are you going to get to that point if you don't have a killer app and you're at $549.99?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Someone in the chat talks about Half-Life Alyx, and that's been rumored that they're going to bring that to PSVR 2.
See,
but even
another reason why they should have figured out backwards compatibility somehow. I know that wouldn't have been easy. I've said in the past that I thought it would, and thinking about it further, it probably wouldn't have been. But that would be another selling point.
What?
Just be like, we have a library. The stuff you already bought. If you're in this ecosystem, your games aren't stranded on hardware that you're going to have to plug in and hook up. And
I also have a bunch of games for PSVR 1 that I redeemed as part of PS Plus, but have not been able to play.
Right.
So if I don't have a PSVR 1, I guess I can't play those. Anyway, what do you think Sony can do to turn this around? Is it as simple as announce Astro Bot?
Well, I think that needs to be the tip of the iceberg. I think we need to get the feeling that there's a decent cadence of games that you can't get on the Quest.
Yeah. You know what I'm kind of surprised by? You remember Moss?
I do.
Of course.
I do.
Great game. Was a PlayStation exclusive VR game, right? It's like Sony in part financed the first one.
Well, it was a back end at one point.
Yeah, it was back end. And Moss Book 2 came out for PSVR 1 back in the spring.
Really great.
Like no hype whatsoever. And I don't.
Me, as someone who was excited about it, found it a week later that it came out.
Yeah. Like games like that, I feel bad for those developers. And then now to not have like a Moss complete collection or something that.
Yeah,
for
that would be great.
PS2. It's like, why would you not at least announce that?
No.
Or that Iron Man game that we're talking about? Like, I know that's just bought Camouflage, but
that's kind of my thing. Is just like with the PSVR 1, it felt like a way to dip your toe, which also made it okay that there wasn't a flood of games. You know what I mean? Like, and again, it made it okay that the experience wasn't as good as something you get on a PC. But like, they don't have any of that now.
Yeah.
No. So it's going to be interesting to see how this does.
Yeah. It sounds like we're all really excited for it.
Well, I did register to pre-order.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh my.
I don't know that I'm going to, but I did register to pre-order.
Huh.
On the outside chance they announce Astro Bot between now and pre-orders, right? Which probably ain't gonna happen.
I can't imagine it would.
I can't imagine that it will.
It seems like that would have been something they would have been throwing out there.
Yeah, I feel like you'd want that to be sort of the center piece of your announcement.
Unless you're just thinking that Horizon is your center, which I think it's crazy. Like pin.
Are we just out of touch on the Horizon thing? Is Horizon just way more popular than we think it is, or because that's very possible.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay,
but maybe. Yeah,
I don't know.
Alrighty, that's enough bagging on PSVR 2 for this week.
We're done. Good job, everybody.
We're done. All right. Let's get into what you've been playing. Phil,
Oh dear.
what do you got for us?
What do I have?
What doesn't he have for us?
Well, you know what? Oh, you know what I have?
What do you have?
I have a new Switch.
Oh,
I bought a new Switch. I broke down. I finally got an OLED.
A SWOLED?
That's the
SWOLED.
one.
Okay.
I broke down and got the new one that was released that has decorations from a certain game
series.
Certain game series that has a new entry coming out soon.
Uh-huh.
So I'm very excited about my new Switch. The new screen
As
is very
somebody
nice.
who has upgraded his Switch twice
Mhm.
already, I welcome you to
Thank
the
you.
upgraded Switch family.
It's lovely to be here.
Isn't it?
It is. Of course, it's sitting in the other room now, downloading my entire library of digital games, which is taking forever.
Well, there is that.
Yeah.
There is that. I don't know why. I mean, the 3DS, I moved 3DSs often as well.
Almost
And that
weekly.
was almost weekly. Yeah. And it was so easy, right? You do the little transfer process, the little Pikmin like came over and they brought over everything and you just swapped out that SD card and you were ready to go.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have made it that easy on the Switch?
Insect politics.
That's a deep cut.
That's a reference that only CJ will get.
It's a deep, deep cut.
That is a very, very old EGM reference. Or
extremely.
Literally everyone else who is not CJ. But yeah, so I got my new Switch, which is great. And hey, you know what's great to play on that new Switch?
What's that?
That neither of you care about, but I do very much, is Bayonetta 3. I got my copy of Bayonetta 3.
We were boycotting that game.
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
We're not now.
We're not now.
Yes.
Got it.
The proper move is to not. Boy, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. I'm only a couple levels into it, but it is absolutely just off the wall bonkers.
Okay.
And I am just delighted every second I'm playing it. There have been a couple times where I've just laughed out loud at how ridiculous it gets. And I'm very happy about it. I wish you guys liked it. I wish you guys cared, because we would be having conversations. And I don't want to sit here and bore you by just like describing the stuff that happens in the game.
Please do.
The game opens on the platinum logo.
You can stop. You can stop.
At one point, I will say this, at one point you do summon a giant kaiju-sized monster that begins surfing down a series of collapsing skyscrapers.
Ooh.
As giant monsters are flying past you, and subway train cars are flying all over because you're destroying subway tracks as you go, and buildings are collapsing and you're dodging and jumping over them. And at one point you ramp off of a collapsing skyscraper and you land in a river, and you land so that you are this four-legged monster is now standing on 4 different boats. And now you are using the boats as kind of like water skis as you are sliding down the river, dodging and fighting all sorts of ridiculous things. It's wonderful. It is bizarre and lovely. And it's a lot of fun. What's that?
Worth the wait?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I would say that it is. I'm having a blast. I love Bayonetta 3. So you guys should get better taste in games. I'm going to throw this out there. My beloved Klonoa, I love me some Klonoa.
Yes.
I did finish up the first game. I played through Klonoa Door to Phantomile on my Switch. I specifically wanted to finish it because I earlier today recorded a new well, not a new podcast, but I'm guesting on an upcoming episode of the Games My Mom Found podcast.
Excellent.
And we discussed Klonoa Door to Phantomile. So I highly recommend, if you want to hear me and a couple other guys talk for about an hour and a half about Klonoa, tune in. And it's a fun podcast anyway. They each episode they talk about different games. So
yes.
That is a good podcast.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Oh, and you know what I've been playing? I started playing a mobile game. On my cell phone telephone. I don't know if you've heard of this game. I don't know if you've been on the internet at all.
I have.
If you've been on YouTube or on any rapidly dying social media services, you may have heard of this game. I checked out the Marvel Snaps.
Yes, yeah. I'm interested to hear what the hell this is all about because I see people posting about it like crazy, but I can't be bothered to check it out myself. So,
well, buckle up, bucko, because we're going in. Hold on a second here.
That was anticlimactic.
Marvel Snap is the latest and most exciting Marvel experience that fans of all ages and all gamer experience levels will enjoy.
Wait a second. Are we paid for this placement?
I mean, I'm paid for it.
If they'd offered to pay us for it, CJ would have said no and then sold the thing on the show.
Yeah,
correct.
And then done exactly this.
No, I will admit to initially having no interest in this. I mean,
because why would you?
I'm not a big card game guy. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not a big board game guy.
Gamer?
What's that?
You're not a mobile gamer?
I'm not a mobile gamer. It seems like a perfect storm of things I'm not terribly interested in.
Yeah.
But
it's everything I hate rolled up into one convenient package.
But a lot of people whose opinions I respect were saying that it was good. Suddenly, a bunch of people I work with at work. Of course, I work with them at work. That's what we do at work. But they had been trying it out, and they were enraptured with it. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is a.
Now you're a whale for Marvel Snap.
I
he said his monthly limit at 1,000.
I mean,
they gotcha.
Gotcha.
I'm
gotcha with their gotcha mechanics.
I'm like $10,000 in the hole, and yeah, it's a strain, but I'm not. We're not
stop anytime you want.
I still have a couple credit cards left that have not been maxed out, so I'm okay.
Excellent.
So, yeah, you know what's crazy? It actually it doesn't push the monetization stuff at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm positively shocked. Like, there's no you'd think because it's a card based battle game, you would think like, oh, there's like loot box style. You buy like a pack of cards or something, and you get random cards. Nothing like that. Yeah, you can't even buy new cards. You have to earn all your cards just by playing the game.
Huh. Okay.
But it's really neat. You have a deck of cards, and they're all based on Marvel characters, of course. And I forget how many cards are in a deck. It's not a lot. The decks are not huge. And the rounds go super quick because there's only 6 turns, and it flies by, maybe 5 minutes. And the idea of the game is the game board has 3 different locations, and the locations all have different attributes that can affect your cards when you play them at that location. And each turn, you and your opponent put down some cards, and some of the cards all have power levels, and some of them will have different attributes. Like, oh, if you play this card in the center position, it gains 2 hit points or something, like that kind of thing. And the idea is at the end of the 6 rounds, you need to have control of 2 of the 3 areas, which is based on the strength of your cards. Tallies them up. And like I said, the matches go by quickly. There's just enough strategy to kind of get you thinking, so it's kind of fun trying to figure out how the cards work. And because the 3 locations are randomized with each game, you're constantly having to come up with new strategies. It's like, oh wait, no, it's this location, and so I have to, I can't play anything here after the 5th turn or something like that. So I got to get everything here before that, or whatever the gimmick is on that particular round. So yeah, it's satisfying, it's fast, and then as you play, you earn points. It has kind of like a season pass style system where you
pay for the season pass.
You don't currently. I don't know if they're going to introduce paid season passes later. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know.
Okay.
Right now, the only thing you really have there's like a welcome pack that's like $3, and it gets you a little bit of the in-game currency and a Captain America card, and that's the only card you can actually buy. But so far the only thing you really spend the in-game currency on is cosmetics and upgrades. For like you can get items that will upgrade your cards, but you also earn those fairly rapidly just through playing.
Okay.
And then the cosmetics are basically just, it changes the artwork of the card. And so you can see, just maybe a cooler picture, different artists that you like. One of the images, like, oh, this is a famous Marvel cover, so I want my Squirrel Girl card to have that artwork, so I'll pay some of the in-game currency to get that. But it's all cosmetics.
Okay.
So it's fun. You might want to give it a download and try it. So I do recommend it though.
Okay.
I'm as shocked as the next guy.
Well, they have it out on PC as well. I think you can download it on Steam.
Yes, it is on Steam. You know what? I did download it on Steam, but I initially downloaded it on my iPad.
Yeah.
And my phone. And when you set up an account, you can log in with your Apple account, or you can log in with Google. And then, so I logged in with my Apple account. So my progress is saved between my iPad and my phone, so I can play it wherever. The Steam version does not let you log in with your Apple account.
I see.
Not really a big surprise. So
right.
I don't know if I can transfer my progress now from my mobile version to the desktop version, but whatever.
Okay.
Point is, it's on Steam if you want to play it there as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's good.
Nice.
The only other thing that I played, and I probably didn't play it as much as you or Greg, but I know you both have done this as well, is it's right behind me. It's sitting right,
the Genesis Mini 2
there. The Genesis Mini 2.
Yeah.
There, Greg's got it. Is that now? That's the North American version. That is the actual Genesis Mini. Now, there's your Mega Drive Mini.
Wow.
Mine got delayed. It should be here tomorrow. My Mega Drive Mini, but yeah, I do have the Genesis Mini.
Boy, is that box tiny!
It is.
It's a lot smaller than I thought.
Real
it would
mini.
be.
It is. It's. I mean,
is it the miniest of mini console boxes?
Oh, absolutely.
I think
you could fit 3 of these things in the TurboGrafx 16 Mini.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I
Even
mean,
the PC Engine Mini has a mini. It has a larger box than
yeah.
Mega Drive Mini.
I mean,
Genesis
I was stunned when I saw the size of that box. I was like, how do they fit a system?
How do they fit all that 16-bit
controller?
power into that tiny little box?
They
All that
crammed all
blast
that
processing.
But yeah, so I played a little bit of it. I hooked it up and messed around with a couple games. Played a little Night Trap, of course.
Of course.
But
yes.
I'm assuming you guys, and probably especially Greg, has delved into it more than I.
Honestly, I haven't as much as I have messed around with it. I haven't as much as I'd like because I was getting ready for Extra Life.
Oh yeah.
So I just didn't really have the time, and I want to actually get a video out of. But I did. The other thing that I got along with it is, of course, the Mega
there it
CD
is.
2.
That's so awesome.
Beautiful
set. Which so this is of course not functional in the least.
Right.
But yeah, you get your you can get the laser in there.
Door works.
Oh, it pops open.
Yeah. So it
I
has a
love
little
that.
power light that doesn't do anything, but I'm sure somebody somewhere will mod these to actually put a little light on them. And that came with actually a couple things too that came with, because if you remember the last time when you got like the 32X and the Mega CD, which I have in my case back there, I didn't get it out. You got a cartridge. You got Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 1.
Yes.
And you got the 32X. So, and the other thing was if you cracked open the Sega CD, there was actually a Sonic CD in the disc tray. Well, this time they actually just included a Sonic CD disc, like on plexiglass, basically. And of course, you get the Virtua Racing cartridge.
Oh, nice.
The Japanese one, which does not fit in the US Genesis Mini because the cartridge slot's the wrong shape.
Attention to detail.
Like real life. The other thing that I love, though, because it just speaks to, it's a love letter, basically. So it comes with, I don't have the bit of the plastic yet. It's a tray extender.
Oh.
Like the Me2 did.
Yeah.
So that you can put the Genesis Mini 1 on the Sega CD, the Mega CD 2 tray. Also has, of course, the connector for that tray and the collar for the 32X if you want to put the 32X Mini on your Genesis. Mini. So
beautiful.
Really cute. Yeah, really, really neat little, collector's item. On the system itself, I have to say there's not a whole lot to talk about from the interface side of things because it's just like the old one.
Yeah,
it's just like the last one. Although it's a new music track from Music Ashiro that sort of, is a bit of a medley of the themes of some of the different games in there, which is kind of cool. Yeah. It's still got the same. I do want to point out, and someone called it out in the chat. It's still got the same audio lag that the previous one had. It's like a frame or two, which kind of sucks, but it doesn't ruin the games by any means. One thing that I love, and I think when you turn it on, it actually gets you to do this right away, is it emulates both the audio of the original Mega Drive, the original Genesis, and the audio for the Genesis 2, because games do sound different depending on what hardware. Like previously, I couldn't tell you the details behind it. I think they changed the sound chip or something like that. But the original system, especially the the ones that say high def graphics around the top of the ring, it has a much, I think it's a low pass filter or something like that. It has a much deeper sound to it, whereas the Mega Drive 2 had a much higher sound to it, and games do sound different on the two systems. So it's kind of cool that you can choose to have the games play based on that, based on which hardware you prefer. Because in the retro gaming community, there are a lot of people who like the holy grail is the original Genesis because it sounds better to them. And the screen where you do that, they're actually, I think they use an outrun track. So like as you switch your selections, it's actually playing music from Outrun just to display like this is how it's going to sound. This is the difference. So that's a nice touch. I also love that you get the old Sega CD dancing logos startup boot up sequence when you go to the credits, which is kind of nice.
You do?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's going in the background. It's pretty neat.
Love
Selection of games. I've been saying this previously that I kind of love that they did this because, first of all, I love it that it's an homage to the Sega CD.
Yeah,
because I love that system and I like that they're really leaning into it. I would have loved to see them go even further and do 32X, but who knows? And I kind of love that we've gotten the Genesis Mini out of the way so that they could sort of take a deeper dive and include some more interesting titles, stuff that you haven't seen a million times over on this one,
Like
right?
Bonanza Brothers?
Like Bonanza Brothers, exactly.
Mhm.
No, but just in general, like stuff like Atomic Runner, like not a game that, when you say, hey, what are the 60 games you plus 60 games as well? That's awesome. That's 20 more than last time. What are the 60 games you would put on this thing? I don't think Atomic Runner is making the top of a lot of people's lists, not because it's a bad game,
right?
But just because it's, actually, I know a friend of the show, G to the Next Level, loves Atomic Runner. He talks about it all the time on his streams, but, it's just not something you would necessarily think of. So it's really cool to see it there. Or like Rolling Thunder 2 is another like solid game that's on there that you wouldn't necessarily think of. You get Splatterhouse 2 on there, and there's some good sort of deeper cuts on there, which is great. There's some garbage too, but like I don't know who wanted Clay Fighter, but it's there. So yeah, and again, you got some pretty good bangers on the Sega CD side of thing. You got Sylphied, you got Robo, Lesta, Sonic CD. It's great that basically between the two systems now you have a full collection of Shining games from the 16-bit era. Like between the two of them, you've got Shining of the Darkness, Shining Force 1, Shining Force 2, Shining Force CD. So yeah, it's awesome. I wish they could have gone deeper on the Sega CD stuff, like a lot deeper. There's only 12 games on here, and I'd say about half of them, even loving or hating full motion video games notwithstanding, yes, you can say like Sewer Shark and Night Trap are garbage if you want. I disagree with that, but I think they're important to have on there.
Oh, for sure.
But like you've got Mansion of Hidden Souls, the two Taito games that are included, the Ninja Warriors, and I forget what the other one is called. They're not great. There's definitely some garbage there, and it makes Victor Island and Sega not being able to come to an agreement on Popful Mail and Lunar 1 and 2. It makes it hurt that much more because, like it would have been great to see like Road Avenger or Cobra Command or any of that stuff. Even like the Sega CD versions of Dragon's Lair, who knows? Like any of that stuff would have been cool to see make the cut as well. But still, it's nice to have it. So
totally.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't had the chance to hook mine up, but I'm a big fan of the Sega CD stuff, and especially Night Trap on there and Sewer Shark on there. It'll be fun to revisit those games. Yeah, and I love the 6-button controller too.
Oh
this time around.
Nice. Yes, I mean that was a huge oversight last time.
Yeah,
and you've got Super Street Fighter 2 on there, which is I think the best. It's my favorite version of Street Fighter from the 16-bit years. Also, there's a collection of stuff on there that's never been released before, which is okay. It kind of really most of the stuff that's on there, although there's a Puyo Puyo game on there that if you're a Puyo Puyo fan, you'll probably like a lot. I'm not personally a Puyo Puyo fan, but then you've got like I forget Locomotion, I think, and I think that's what it's called. There's a bunch of games that I would say are stuff you would find on like a download, like the Sega Toshokan download service. Like they're in the vein of like Flicky. You know what I mean? Just sort of really small standalone experiences. I think one or two of them are old arcade games, kind of from that era. They're not bad, but they're not. Like I'm not super excited that I have them now. You know what I mean? Like it's like okay, I'll play these once in a while and probably once or twice, and then never think of them again. And one of the other big selling points, one of the other big announcements was that the system includes Space Harrier 1 and 2, but they're not. The Space Harrier 2 is not the Space Harrier 2 that came out on the Genesis originally. They've been rebuilt by M2.
Oh,
yeah,
they're not good.
They're not.
No.
Oh, they're not good. they flicker. Like the flicker in it is crazy. Apparently, there's a hidden option to help it a little bit. I think at the expense of performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're I turned it on. I'm like, oh, cool. Like an M2 developed Space Harrier and Space Harrier 2, and it's like, okay, this will be great because it's M2. And no, not at all. Like it's bad enough that you almost think like they shouldn't have included these.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really disappointing.
Yeah.
So, but otherwise, more good games than bad. But yeah, that was a letdown, big time.
That's a bummer. But
well, what else have you been playing, Greg?
Oh, it's my what you've been playing now.
Yeah.
I played a bunch of games yesterday. I'm not going to sit here and talk about all of them. We mentioned a few of them at the top of the show, but one game that I did want to call out that I found really interesting, and I forget who requested this yesterday. I had donors requesting games. This was a Super Famicom game that came out called Mickey no Tokyo Disneyland Daiboken. Just a side-scrolling platformer starring Mickey Mouse in levels that are based on rides in Tokyo Disneyland, but I mean the sort of the standard rides that you see at all the Disneyland parks, Disney World parks, right?
Yeah,
right.
But it's got a really interesting play mechanic. Like when I was playing it, it's just a pretty solid platformer, but the way you've got two not attack buttons, you've got a jump button, then you've got two action buttons. One button fills a water balloon. So you can he throws it. That's his attack. He throws water balloons. Which it's weird.
How does
right?
he fill up those water balloons?
With the water tank that's on his back.
Oh, okay.
You're gross.
How does he fill up the water tank?
That I don't know. You're gross.
Oh boy.
I'm not even sure you're both talking about the same thing. The second button.
Don't watch me. I can't
fills
do
a balloon. Fills a balloon with. You done?
CJ's loving it.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh.
I'm so tired I can't remember the right name for this gas. Fills a balloon with the gas that makes a balloon float.
What kind of gas?
God.
It's methane.
It always goes to bodily fluids with you two.
Oh,
Look at
why
CJ.
wouldn't
He's
it?
falling off his chair
I like that we both said methane at the same time.
because they're assholes.
I got a tank full of pee and balloons full of farts. I'm ready for my big Tokyo Land adventure. Oh. Come on, Donald, let's go. Oh. It's helium.
All right.
You're thinking of helium.
That's the
Yeah,
word
that's
I'm
the
trying
word.
to think of.
Yeah.
I'm on like 4
There you
hours sleep. The second button fills a balloon with helium.
Okay.
So he floats, right? If he floats up, and then what he'll do is, depending on if you're pressing a direction when you let go of that button, if you just let go of the button, he lets go of the balloon, and the balloon floats up and pops. And eventually, like it'll deflate, right? If you float up too high or something like that. But if you're pushing any direction when you let go of the button, he'll like pop the balloon. In such a way that it'll shoot him in the direction that you're pointing. So like you can do like a ground pound, or you can like shoot straight up or left or right. And the mechanic works really well. I was really having a good time with this. It takes a little bit of time to wrap your head around it. I mean, he has a regular jump as well, but yeah, like by the end of the hour that I was playing it, I was really sort of falling in love with the game. And on top of that, again, you're in levels that are based on, classic Disney rides. Like I think the level I was in when I finished was Big Thunder Mountain. The only thing that I will say about it is that it's definitely unforgiving. I was actually stuck in a bit of a loop at the end of my hour because I needed to cross over like an area with a major updraft, and I just couldn't quite get the timing right. And anytime it caught you, it would send you back to like almost the beginning of the level over and over again. So it was a little bit much, but The other thing is that this game there's a ROM hack out there for an English translation of this game. Not that you'd really need, I mean, I don't even know what the story is, but just go to these levels and finish them. But overall, I really recommend it. Like, if it's an old Disney game you haven't played, I don't know why. The only reason I can think of that it wouldn't have been localized for here is because I think it's a pretty late stage release on the Super Famicom. But I mean, it would have easily, from what I played yesterday, it totally would have been sellable.
Wow.
In North America, like people would have eaten it up, I think. So, yeah, really recommend that. It just was kind of a nice discovery because most of the games yesterday I played before. Like I said, I'd never played the Master System games like Lucky Dime Caper and Castle Evolution on the Master System, but for the most part, I played everything that I played yesterday previously, but not this one. I really enjoyed it a lot.
Nice.
That's what I've
played. A couple hours of Kingdom Hearts.
5 hours.
Oof.
All right then.
It was for the kids.
It was
for the kids. Yeah.
How
ended up at $9,000, by the way.
That's what I was just going to ask.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
No, it's great. I'm really happy.
Man.
I want 1,000 more though, so we still need 1,000 more by the end of the year.
You can do it.
You can do it.
I believe in you.
I hope so.
Alrighty.
I'm going to bed.
Good night.
I haven't talked about what I've been playing.
Oh, okay. I guess we can do that.
Well, okay. We were all playing The Last of Us.
I beat that game already.
Yeah, this
You
is
guys
so
beat it
last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
and I finished it yesterday.
Turns out you
We're The Last of Us.
To finish The Last
Phil
of
and I
Us
finished each
part
other's
one.
sandwiches.
They're good sandwiches.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good video game, you guys.
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't know if you know this.
It is.
It's a
Yeah.
really good video game.
It's true.
Yeah, I was taking a lot of screenshots. And yeah, the ending of it is just great. Just really, really well done.
It is.
It almost makes me want to play the second one over again.
Right?
I felt the same way when I finished this.
Yep.
But I definitely went in and played around with unlocking the game modifiers
Oh, yeah.
that you can do once you've finished. And yeah, I don't know if I'll go through Last of Us Part 1 again, but some
Not
pretty
gonna
cool
go for the
little
platinum.
No, I don't think so, because I only had like something like 7 out of 40 trophies or something.
Oh, jeez.
Like that. So I was like, maybe a little far from getting the platinum at
Just
this
a tiny
point.
bit.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed my time with it, of course. The original game on PS3 is one of my favorite games ever. And this is the best version of that game now. So
Yeah,
it's
agreed.
great stuff.
It was really fun to play it again, I have to say.
Yes, I finished it, and my daughter walked in. I was watching the Grounded documentary,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's the making of The Last of Us." She's like, "You finished it?" I was like, "Yes." She's like, "Well, I didn't get to watch."
Worst dad ever.
It was like I didn't even.
buy.
I mean, you were watching me play, and then you left to go play Roblox or something. I didn't know that you wanted to like continue watching. But now she's watching one of her favorite streamers played The Last of Us Remastered back in like 2013. So she's watching that stream of that instead. Yeah. So anyway, I subscribed to Twitch Turbo. Do you know what Twitch Turbo is, by the way?
Does it make everything go faster?
It
I would
makes
hope
all the
so.
streams go faster.
It's right there in the
I think
name.
that's what the name implies.
Yeah.
I had no idea that this existed. But I was talking about watching streams on Twitch, on Twitter, and somebody mentioned Twitch Turbo, and I looked into it. You can pay, Twitch Turbo is like an $8 a month thing where
Or like a blue check mark.
Yeah.
removes the ads.
For the price of a
But-
Twitter.
But if you just subscribe to someone, it removes the ads, doesn't it?
for their channel only.
But that creator gets some money for that.
That's true. They do.
Yeah,
Do
but
they
this
get any
way-
money from Twitch Turbo?
But
This way,
a
nobody
corporation
benefits but
gets the money,
CJ.
Greg.
This way.
Oh, sorry, nobody but Twitch and CJ benefit. So you're really
Exactly.
normally if you subscribe, Twitch, CJ, and the creator benefits, but this way only
Right.
CJ and Twitch benefit. Okay,
Yes,
That's right. Yes.
Yep.
I'm still a subscriber to some streamers.
Do you subscribe to me? This podcast's over. This podcast is
There it is.
over.
I do.
There it is.
I do.
I've been
I
streaming
think
for 10 years,
maybe?
CJ. 12 years.
I
That's
see,
cool.
I see. But
Uh,
yeah. Anyway, so now I can.
Yeah, tell us more about Twitch Turbo.
hop around and watch streamers like Greg and not have to pay extra. not have to watch ads. for
It's
goods
nice.
and
It's almost like
services
he's
I'm not
stealing from you,
interested
Greg.
in. But it's
I
kind
mean,
of
I need to lose a little weight. If I can't afford food, it's probably for the best.
they aren't publicizing this service really at all on Twitch because they
I can't imagine why.
obviously. But I like the fact that now I can hop around to various games and watch streamers and not have to deal with the ads. Because for a while there, over the last month, it really has gotten crazy. Like I'll go to a new channel and it'll bring up the ads and it'll be okay. This is ad 1 of 9.
Mm.
You have to sit through before you even
they're pretty
see
bad.
second 1 of whatever you just tuned into.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. So anyway, so now I'm paying for Twitch Turbo instead and enjoying
Okay.
it quite a bit.
I'm just gonna say it. I just pay a little bit more for subscriptions to the creators.
I mean, I do that too. I do that too.
Okay.
But that doesn't count for streamers that I don't know. Maybe I want to subscribe to them at a later date. I don't
Okay.
know because the ads have blocked me from enjoying their.
Mm.
Are you verified on Twitter?
No.
Okay. It's only $8, you know.
Do I care about that? No.
Clearly not.
No. All right. Then I played some Fortnite. Got to level 100 in the battle pass. Unlocked Spider Gwen.
Like a lousy casual.
Like a lousy casual.
Yeah.
Filthy
right.
casual.
I thought you were
Gonna
a
play a bunch of Horde Rush
hardcore
to
player.
unlock Pickle Rick. The Pickle Rick back bling is available by playing a bunch of Horde Rush, so I'm going to do that. I bought the Star Wars pack, the classic trilogy pack. You get Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Leia, Princess Leia. So that's cool. Yeah. I played a little bit of Ghost Song, which is
I'm hearing good things
Metroidvania,
about this.
like a really cool atmospheric Metroidvania game. Came out last week on Game Pass. Originally, that was a title that was being published by Adult Swim Games, so I had already played a bunch of it and talked to the developer quite a bit. So I'm really rooting for this game. I think it's a really fun Metroidvania, very
I must have been
atmospheric,
in development for a long time then.
a really long time. Yeah, it was
been in
originally.
Adult Swim Games for a while.
I know. Originally, it was a Kickstarter, and then it just took a long time to develop this game. A solo developer, so that's part of the reason. But yeah, it's really a lot of fun. It has difficulty settings so that if you're like me and you want to just not have to deal with sort of Souls-like difficulty, you can tone it down to Explorer mode and then just kind of enjoy the atmosphere and the story instead of having to worry about dying a lot. So I did that.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a really, really cool Metroidvania if you're in the mood for that, which I am. So yeah.
Cool.
And
I keep hearing great things about it.
Yeah, it's really a lot of fun. But that's basically what I've been playing.
Well, all right.
I guess that means it's time for tweets.
A tweedly deedly deal. A tweedly deedly dee tweet. A tweet. A tweet tweet.
All right, our first tweet comes from Hackrelia's Guitar Salad, who says, "How tired is Greg right now?"
So tired.
So tired.
On a scale of 1 to 10, where do you place your tiredness quotient?
11.
The scale is just 1 to 10.
This was the cup of caffeine.
Oh,
It's
Got
just
some
straight
doughs in
caffeine,
there.
not even
Oh, it's
coffee.
not empty yet.
Oh,
there it is. Yeah.
can you drink
Nice and
caffeine
cold,
right before you
too.
go to sleep?
I don't care.
Does it affect you? Yeah, doesn't affect me either. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's do this one from Hackrelia's Bobby Bialo, who asks, "What is your favorite 80s, 90s sitcom opening song? My vote is for Perfect Strangers."
It is a pretty great song.
It is a quality one.
Yeah.
You know what? It's an instrumental.
MASH?
But I always enjoyed the Night Court theme.
Oh yeah, Night Court.
Yeah.
You were going to say Seinfeld.
Seinfeld's the first thing that pops to mind for me.
Oh, really? Even though this is not really a theme song?
No.
It's just like a little bit of slap bass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
I don't know. There were lyrics in one episode.
Really?
Not lyrics. They're
Well, they
scat, like
Scat. Yeah.
over.
Settle
over
down. Settle down.
Somebody say
Here it
scat.
goes.
Jesus, it's just one episode, but it's completely unnecessary, and they dropped it right afterwards. I'm going to say I like the Family Ties theme song, and not just because we're watching Family Ties.
That's you're too close to it.
Yeah. I'm close to it. Yes,
you're too close to it now. That's the problem.
We just watched the episode where Elise gets addicted to blackjack at the casino. They go to Atlantic City.
Okay.
Take a trip to Atlantic City.
Oh.
And Elise is supposed to be speaking at an architectural summit.
Oh man.
And she totally blows her speech by sitting at the blackjack table instead.
Oh dear.
And there's like a it's funny because this is like a 21-minute episode. And they totally gloss over the fact that Elise didn't even make her speech. And the joke is that Mallory did it. But there's no scene of them cutting away to Mallory delivering the speech. It's just like she did it, and it was really good.
Wait,
Apparently.
Mallory gave this? Wasn't? I mean, it's been a long
supposed
time.
to be like really stupid, or
yeah, that was her character, right? She was kind of dumb.
Yes, I know. But she gave the speech. Apparently,
but she gave a perfectly good speech.
Well, it might have been written down.
It was written down. Yeah.
You know, you still have to have some sort of natural speaking ability. You can't just go in and cold read off of some note cards.
Yeah.
If you're a noted dum-dum like Mallory is.
So I do want to say that we've gotten off the point of the question here, which was our favorite, and not just a random list of theme songs.
I said
which
my
I feel
favorite,
like where we're going.
Family Ties.
That's not your favorite. You're just watching it right now.
Yeah,
but it is my favorite.
Okay.
All right, Misfits of Science. Sorry.
Oh, that's a good one.
You're missing Degrassi.
I never watched Degrassi.
We are not Canadian.
How did you not?
I
thought
never
you watched
Degrassi.
Phil, have you watched Degrassi?
No, I'm
damn it.
I am not Canadian. Of course I've not watched Degrassi.
Now talk to me about you can't do that on television, and we have something going.
Not a sitcom. Not really a sitcom.
Well, this is supposed to be a sitcom, wasn't it?
But I'm also going to throw in a vote for Greatest American Hero.
Oh
yeah, right.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
How high did that
one
get
of those
on the top 40? It was pretty high. I don't know if it got number one, but it was.
I don't know.
Got a lot of airtime.
Yeah.
That show is another one of those shows, and I find this is true with a lot of 80s shows. You go back and you watch an episode, and I can't believe how slow it is. How slow, like an hour episode of that thing is just not well paced.
Yeah.
And I know we're in peak TV, quote unquote, now, but you really can't go back and watch some of those old shows. It's just, it's too. My attention span is just it's changed. Yeah. Oh, we watched The Matrix last night with my daughter.
The good one?
The good one, the first
Okay.
one. Because while we were watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Hugo Weaving is in it.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
He was in everything
As
right
Elrond.
at that point.
Yeah,
Yes, he's
everything. But anyway, me and my wife were making jokes about like you have to bring the ring to Mordor, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Anyway, my daughter had no idea what any of that stuff was, and she's been looking at Lord of the Rings memes as well.
He goes by the hacker alias Strider.
And there are a lot of memes, including Hugo Weaving as
Yes.
his character in The Matrix. So we watched it last night.
So your
Somebody-
daughter's
Loved it.
big Hugo Weaving stand now?
Yeah. But now she gets, all the references that are made to The Matrix, the whole Mr. Anderson thing and
Yes.
Hacker alias.
red pill, blue pill,
It's
all that stuff.
funny because I saw on Twitter the other day somebody was talking about Keanu Reeves, saying like, what's the first film that comes to mind when you say Keanu Reeves, and you can't say The Matrix or John Wick films.
Oh, right.
And I was like, does it make me old that The Matrix and John Wick are not even the top 2 films that come to mind when I think of Keanu Reeves? Like, I definitely think Bill and Ted before that. I
Bill and
think
Ted.
Point Break, to be honest. Like,
Speed.
Speed. Those 3. Like, that dude was in some big movies before The
Yeah.
Matrix and John Wick.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's true.
It definitely
anyway,
goes Bill and Ted and then Matrix for me.
The Matrix is still a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's still a great movie.
I'm not saying
Even
it's
though
not.
Some of the
Yeah.
effects are,
Yeah. Oh no, the first Matrix is fantastic.
Yeah.
What just a great idea.
Ah,
I mean,
great
Matrix
movie.
is knocking on 25 years old.
God damn it.
Yes, it is.
So the special effects are not going to be what we're used to nowadays, but
Although
still.
they still look pretty good.
Yeah, of course
It
it does.
still looks good.
Of course
the
it
nice
does.
thing too is that I think it's aged pretty well because the effects were in large part were practical.
Yeah.
Except for the bullet time stuff, obviously.
Right.
Well, yeah.
But I mean that the practical effects tend to age really well.
Well, the bullet time stuff was done with like a zillion cameras, right?
Yeah, I mean the bullet trails.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's right. Like even that's what I'm getting at is like, when they were like moving in slow-mo and going backwards and the camera was rotating around. I mean, it's a practical effect.
Right.
Yeah.
Following cameras, but still.
Yeah.
Anyway, what a great movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? 80s and 90s sitcom songs.
I think we've covered it.
We covered it. Okay. I think that's a good place to stop
All
You
right.
do?
then. Yeah.
Okay.
You say so.
It's your show.
Oh,
really, it's our
and
show.
that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to P1 Podcast on the Twitters, or you can go to our internet website at player1podcast.com. There you'll find our contact information. You will find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Stewart. You will also find Generation 16 episodes as they happen.
Trying to get a Genesis Mini 2 episode done before I go away next week.
Very
Don't know
nice.
if it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Very nice. We are all looking forward to that. However, there is a 1990 year in review. If you've not watched it, go and do that.
Yes, please.
Anyway, on our website at player1podcast.com, you'll also find show notes and links to all the things we talked about during the show. You will also find a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
One more great 80s theme.
Yeah.
It's Gary Shandling show.
Never saw that.
Oh, that is also a great.
The Gary Shandling show theme is incredible
True.
and funny. I mean, that's the whole point. Hey, speaking of funny, real quick, Greg, how about that Weird Al movie?
That was great. Did you enjoy it as much as I did?
That was so good.
Yeah,
I need
was
to watch that.
when I was watching that and messaging you guys. Obviously I'm 4 hours ahead of you guys,
Right.
and I watched most of it over my lunch hour. And I was just like, with every new scene, I'm like, oh my God, this just gets better and better and better.
It really does.
I gotta say, and I don't know if you got the same vibes, but oh man, is that a UHF movie?
Oh, absolutely.
Like just
really?
As I'm watching it, it's like, man, if anyone who's seen that and anyone who saw Weird and liked it, go watch UHF.
Yeah,
because it's the same vibe.
Yeah,
I love
but
UHF.
Weird is so good.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
And Daniel Radcliffe, oh my God, that guy's amazing.
Great.
He's so awesome.
He really is.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. No, I'm delighted that Daniel Radcliffe has made just an infinite amount of money.
Do whatever he wants.
So he can just he can do whatever dumb movie he just thinks is going to be fun to do. Yeah. If you'd like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Stitcher Radio or on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the YouTube.
You can totally do that.
You can. On youtubes.com/P1 Podcast. You can also watch us live most weeks. On the YouTubes, the Twitters for as long as that's around, the Facebooks, the Twitch.televisions, all over the dang place. Typically, we record at 5:30 Pacific time on Sunday evenings. But yeah, follow our Twitter account, which is just at P1 Podcast, to find out when we are doing our next live show. And hey, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ cannot stop subscribing to streaming services or
true.
Or
oh my God.
I mean, how many? How many does one person need?
I don't want to go into it now.
Yeah, exactly. So help him finance a few more.
I watch a lot of Twitch though, so
yeah,
I feel good in that.
Okay,
investing in Twitch Turbo.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what though.
Yeah,
we don't actually use your money for that sort of illicit expenditures.
No.
Instead, we use it for all the costs that come with running a podcast, of which there are some, supposedly.
There are, yeah.
CJ doesn't let me look at the book, so I don't really know.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, because we love y'all so much, if you are a Patreon supporter, a patron, if you will, of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain access to a special weekly bonus episode that we record right after this, where we play games, crack wise, having fun, doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ, do we have a game for this week?
We do indeed, Phil.
Oh, good.
That's right. We have a Jeopardy game. That I forgot we had received.
From
listener Zach Miller.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Is it themed?
I'm looking it up now.
He's looking it up now, folks.
So give me just a second. Potent.
We'll put a question mark.
It's a grab bag of categories.
Oh, I love grabbing bags.
Apparently, I should read all of the potent quotables in the game. So we'll do that. I don't know why. That's what he said.
Well, it sounds like there's going to be a doings of transpiring. So please tune in for that. We hope to see you there. And I'll tell you what, if you have a few bucks left over, why don't you take your pasty butt and get it right over there to patreon.com/Greg Seward. And that is a Seward. Just the one T at the end. To help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up. And I mean, there's a brand new miniature version of it. How could you not be excited about this? Look at that. Greg's got one. Greg's got two of them, dang it.
Hang on.
There it is.
Yep.
This is all for the benefit of you, the audio listeners. There you go. There you go. Clank them. Clank them. Oh, that sounds good. Got some solid acoustics on those mini systems. We're talking, of course, about the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome.
And if you are a patron of the $5 variety,
Also cheap.
you get access to the Weekly Commute, which is a vlog series that I do, talking about, honestly, whatever I want to talk about. Mostly about CJ and Phil, but not really. Memories, magazines, video game collection, the work I'm doing on different videos, which has been kind of on hiatus as I've been getting ready for Extra Life. Now that that's over, still going to be on a hiatus because I'm going on vacation.
Oh,
What are you going to do? But after that, I'm going to start working again. But please consider supporting the show. Oh my God, I'm tired. I couldn't think of the word supporting. And thank you to those who do.
You have been up for quite some time now.
Yes.
Hey, did you play some Force Unleashed?
I did.
That's what I paid you to play.
Mm.
But did you have fun?
I did have fun. Yes, I really enjoyed
Good.
that. I was basically spent an hour throwing Wookiees off cliffs and stuff like that as Darth Vader.
That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that game's all about.
Yeah. No, it was really
Okay.
cool.
We'll wrap this up so you can get to bed, Greg.
Thanks.
CJ,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Phil.
Of course. Gregory,
Yo.
thank you. I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised you were even here. I was not expecting you to show up.
Well, drink it all in, baby, because I'm not going to be here for the next 2 shows. So,
Oh, what a relief.
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Was me drinking it all
How's
in.
the mouthfeel on that?
Wet. Real wet.
Okay.
I muted myself.
Player One
coughing.
Podcast After Dark.
Yeah. But hey, Greg, seriously, congratulations on the marathon. Congratulations on raking in $9,000.
Thank you.
Uh,
And at least 10% of that goes to the hospital. No, I'm just kidding. It all goes to the hospital.
The rest goes
it's
to your
awesome.
manager.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah, no, that is fantastic. Yes, congratulations to you. Thanks to all the donators.
Donors.
What is the word?
Donaires.
Donaires.
Oh, you're thinking of donaires. That's
Mm.
a tasty Canadian treat. And of course, thank you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Even if you didn't donate to Greg,
We still
thank you
love
just
you.
for tuning in.
Yeah.
Every single one of you. We love you to death. As always, take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do to be safe in this crazy world. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.